Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alec Reed. This is my channel Alec Reads, and today we are reading part 19 of Wheelchair Accessible. But before we jump in, like, subscribe, comment down below. Um, I have an Instagram. That's what I was gonna say. I have an Instagram. Alec Reads 123. Go check that out. It's the same thing as over here, but over on Instagram. That made sense. Anyway, let's jump right into the video. Part 19. Some things in life come out of nowhere. Whether it's an unexpected event, a change in the weather, or the love of your life, the latter of which I would know about, concerning a certain annoyingly wonderful girl in a wheelchair that turned my life around. These things can improve your life more than you have ever thought possible, make you want to hope, make you want to live, make things happen. Things might come along that teach you, help you grow, make you feel again. Okay, maybe that can't be said about the weather. Maybe that's just Shauna. Yes, I'm definitely just talking about Shauna. Are your eyes still closed? Yes, I lied. My eyes roamed around Shauna's room, looking at the stack of books, the mess of clothes on her floor, and the framed picture of us all around. I reached for the frame that sat on her bedside table closest to her pillow and smiled. It was the one we took at the park where we were first met. The one where I was kissing her cheek and she was smiling beautifully at the camera. I had that one friend in my room too. It was crazy to think how worried I had been about things changing that day when we went to take those photos. And a lot did change since then, but so much was still the same. Shauna was still wonderful. She was still my ray of sunshine when the world felt so dark. She's still my best friend. You rotten liar, she gasps, appearing in the doorway. I didn't have time to cover my eyes the way I was supposed to. I've been doing this whole time before she charged in, rolling her chair in front of me. She slowly placed the frame back on the table. Oops, she signed. You're a pain, but I'm your pain. I fluttered my lashes, leaning towards her. She pushed me away playfully. Suck up. So what's the big surprise? I asked as she rolled closer, gesturing towards the bed. I stood and picked her up, carefully placing her at the head of the bed against her pile of pillows. Is my present ready? It is, in fact, she said, watching me. It's in the side pocket of my chair. So it's small. I pretended to complain as I reached into the pocket and pulled out a large envelope. It was thin and flat, besides a small bump at the bottom. Whatever it was small. I shook it and acted like a kid on Christmas morning. I hope it's a puppy. I started opening it, but Shauna's hands on mine stopped me. Just wait. She tucked some hair behind her ear, nervously. It was getting so long now. She was planning on teaching me how to braid it, so she didn't have to do it. Whenever she brought it up, I would complain, but I secretly kind of wanted to learn. Maybe I would braid it and put flowers in it like Rapunzel in that movie that Shauna made me watch. I have something to tell you first. I pulled myself from my Disney related thoughts to focus on the serious look on my girlfriend's face. What's up? Remember when you asked if I was going to college? I nodded. Of course I remembered. You said you weren't sure yet? Right, because I wasn't. But, she started fiddling with the edges of her blanket. She was obviously having trouble getting the words out, so I tried to guess what she was getting at. But you want to now? No. She shook her head, but then paused. Well, maybe. Eventually? I don't know. She rubbed her hand over her face and started over again. Okay, so a while ago, a teacher from my school, Mr. Lander, you don't know him. I mean, obviously, you don't know him. What am I saying? Anyway, she took a deep breath. Mr. Lander offered me a chance to do some sort of mentorship program with other kids from the surrounding communities with disabilities. I don't totally know what it's all about, but he said I could play basketball with them, and I mean, how could I say no to that? And she paused, eyebrows pulling together. What do you think? My eyes were wide. What do I think? Shauna, that's so cool. Her expression shifted immediately. You think so? Duh. Shauna, dude, that's pretty much the perfect job for you. You get to boss around kids all day. Her jaw dropped. You make me sound like a monster. Well, I'm just speaking from my experience as your student when you were teaching me to play basketball in a wheelchair. That's all. That was only because it was you. And I flirt like a sixth grader. I'm an excellent teacher for literally anyone else. I'll believe it when I see it. I guess you will. She squinted her eyes at me, but after a moment reached over and hooked her little finger around mine. Are you sure you're okay with it? I frowned. What? Of course. Shauna, you don't have to, you know, ask me for permission to do things you like. I'm not that kind of guy. I wasn't asking for permission, she assured me with a little smile. I just meant that you'd be okay with not traveling the world like we said. So that's where all this is coming from. I let out a huff and slid myself over so that I was sitting close enough to wrap my arm around her and pull her into my side. Hey, listen. She peeked up at me, that nervous look on her face. Traveling the world would be awesome, and we're totally going to do it. One day. But if this is where you feel like you're meant to be, if this program is a place where you feel you'll share your gift with the world, you gotta do it, right? She nestled her head into my shoulder, nodding a couple of times. We are going to have our entire lives to do whatever the heck we want together. I promised. So do this now, and we'll worry about the rest later. You're sure? 1,000,000,000%. She hummed contently. You're pretty smart. You know that? Yeah, you didn't realize you were getting good looks and brains when you fell for me, did you? I teased, resting my head on top of hers. I really wasn't expecting either, to be honest. Jerk, she giggled. I'm kidding, Marky. You know you're cute. Ha ha. You are. Whatever. Give me my present so I can get out of here. She had a, she sat up so quickly that my chin got hit on the way up. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. Placing her hand neatly in her lap, she waited as I carefully examined the envelope, pretending to take in every inch of it. She narrowed her eyes. Okay, hurry up or I'm taking it back. Finally reaching into the envelope and feeling around in it, I pulled out a piece of lined paper and was about to unfold it when Shauna reached out to stop me. Be warned, she grimaced, her face turning a light shade of pink. It's a bit mushy. I wrote it, in the hospital, actually. After we, you know. She blushed deeper, made my heart monitor go a little berserk. Smiling at the memory and all the more intrigued, I opened the paper to see her bubbly writing scrawled across the page. I leaned back against the wall and began to read. Dear Mark, firstly, I want to say thank you. These past few months have been the best of my life. You were there when I needed you most, even before I realized that I needed anyone. Truthfully, if I had a picture myself with anyone, I would have pictured someone different. Cooler, probably, but I think you're better than anyone I could have imagined. Not because you're perfect, because nobody is, but because I see you try. Because I see the way you choose every day to be better. Because I see the way that you care about people. Because I see the way that you care for me. I'm so proud of you and who you are becoming. I know that you've been through some really tough times. but it hasn't stopped you from being such an amazing person. You're a great son, a fantastic brother, and my very best friend. Don't tell Allison. Let me tell you a story. A caterpillar starts off as a simple creature, crawling around and living its simple life, eating cheesy triangular leaves, slapping the other caterpillars' butts, just normal bug stuff. But one day he realizes that something is missing. Something is not the way it's supposed to be, so he embarks on a long journey that leads him to a place to rest. Somewhere along the way, he also meets a hot centipede with wheels, but that's for another tale. He's a brave guy, so he digs up the courage to climb a branch, and there he begins to build. It's not easy, it takes a lot of hard work, so much hard work that sometimes he wonders if it's worth it. But he knows that it needs to be done. He knows it's the thing he's been missing. Eventually, he's done it. He's made his chrysalis. And do you know what happens next? You suck at science, so I bet you don't. The caterpillar finally bursts from his cage. Everything that's been holding his truest self in, and he emerges as a butterfly. The cutest butterfly in the world. So cute, he doesn't even know how cute he is. Oh, and he has blonde hair. And he thinks he's really tough, so he's got those designs on his wings that make him really scary looking, but really, he's just a big old softie. But I digress. The point of this butterfly is super important. He's really good to the other butterflies and caterpillars, even the spiders and worms who haven't treated him well. He's also really helpful in pollinating flowers and crops and helping them grow. He's pretty cool and impressive and meaningful and adds a lot to this world. Nature gives us a chance to start over. We don't have to stay as our old caterpillar selves. We can become butterflies. We can become who we want to be, who we are always meant to be. I'm very happy to be around for that process, and I don't mind waiting outside your chrysalis until you're ready. Thank you for always being there for me. I love you, and I really like kissing you. From Shauna. Yes. Winky face. I glanced up from the letter to see Shauna's bright face as she's watching me read her letter. She muttered, not making any eye contact. You can look at the other thing now. Needing to clear my throat, I nodded and reached into the envelope. My fingers found a small object. It fit in the palm of my hand, and I looked down at what it was. My heart thumping just a little bit harder. Is this your butterfly? I croaked, staring at the colorful craft, but after a moment, I realized it wasn't exactly right. Wait, it's yours, she said softly, ducking her head. I made it. Now we can match. I twisted the foam wings over my fingers, noticing the little basketball and ice cream cone stickers she added onto it. This is awesome. I told you it was nothing fancy. It's kind of, I just thought, you know. She rubbed the back of her neck. It's just a good reminder. That's all. That hard work that you're putting in will result in something really beautiful, and I don't know. Don't even have to put it, Shauna. I cut her off, pulling her into me. It's thank you. Really. I muttered into her hair. I'm going to put it in my truck so we can both have a butterfly on our wheels. She laughed, snuggling closer. Perfect. Yeah, I think so too. We're going to spend the rest of our lives together, aren't we? Yeah, I think so. Me as a butterfly and you as a hot centipede on wheels, was it? I clarified. Shauna burst out laughing and grinned, kissing the top of her head. You're adorable, I mumbled, feeling warm. I'm glad that just because we said that we loved each other, it didn't mean we lost some of that giddy awkwardness that comes with having a crush on someone. That was half the fun. You have nice outfits, she said. Seriously, but I could hear the smile in her voice. And I can't wait to buy you more nice outfits when you're 80. That'll be nice. I thought so. Then all of a sudden she started giggling. What? I asked suspiciously. I have another gift for you. Geez, Christmas came early this year, eh? I raised an eyebrow. Even though she couldn't see my face, I still was excited for whatever it was. What is it? It's an outfit. What? I frowned. Shauna, I'm a dude. We don't want outfits from our girlfriend. We want cool stuff like video games and makeout sessions and Doritos. She laughed, but pointed over to the bag next to her closet. But Marky boy, I made it special for you. My curiosity got the best of me, and I picked up the bag, pulling out one white t-shirt. I slowly unfolded it. It was Shauna's laughing hysterically in the background. In big black bold writing on the front of the shirt, it read, Shauna's slave. I rolled my eyes, quickly throwing on the new shirt over top of my old one before running over and tickling my giggling girlfriend. And I realized that even if I didn't add much to the world, at least I added this. That I had been someone to somebody. I may never have my name in a history book or contribute to anything that outlives me, but I added love and happiness to a few more laughs to this girl's life, and that was enough. And the best decision I had ever made. So, P.S. Winky face. The end. And that is the end of the entirety of Wheelchair Accessible. I love this book. I love the love story. I love how he talks about her, the way he describes her, not by the way that she looks, but how she makes him feel. That's a goal. The bar is on the floor, but it's a bar. So that's enough. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night. Goodbye, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody in between, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, friends!